Good morning, children. I welcome you to the next poem of your textbook Hornbill. But before I start the poem, I would like to put a few questions to you. Can any one of you imitate this? I think your answer will be no, ma'am. Or this, no again. Okay, at least this. I think you will say that yes, you can do this, but not in front of other people, right? The question is why? I think your answer will be because we have grown up, because our childhood has gone. Childhood, the period of innocence. That is the title of our poem, Childhood. It is written by Marcus Netton. About the poet. Marcus Netton is the Norwegian poet. Details of his life is very sketchy, so it is unclear when and where he was born. He wrote his lovely poem Childhood when he turned 12. The poem is a translation, so one can well imagine how great it would be in his language. What is childhood? It's a period of innocence, period of make believe, period of purity, when a person is not able to differentiate between truth and imagination, between reality and fiction, a period of carefree world. And then adolescence. Adolescence is that phase of life when a person goes through many changes, psychological changes, physical changes, hormonal changes, and he doesn't like to be called a child anymore. At the same time, the society is not ready to call him an adult. And next is the phase of adulthood when person is ready to face the life. Now you can determine at what stage you are. Let's start the poem now. The poem starts with a question, and the poet himself tries to find the answer of that question. When? When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? Now poet is asking, when did? He's just curious. He wants to find out when did his childhood go? That means end. Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven, sorry, was it the day I ceased to be 11? Ceased to be, stopped being. Was it the time I realized? Realize means understood. The poet is curious to know. He's wondering when he lost his childhood. Can he is able to make a demarcation there that here the childhood ends and here the next phase of life starts. He tries to find out the answer of his question himself. So he's often told about hell and heaven. So if you do, it is told that if a person does the good deeds, then his soul is sent to heaven. And if a person is involved in the misdeeds or evil doings, then his soul is sent to hell after death. This is the photograph of hell and heaven. So the first thing that he thinks about is the age. Can age be a determining factor? When he turned 12 years of age, was that the time he ceased to be a child and he stepped into the next phase of life? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Or was it the time I realized that those places I was often told about, hell and heaven, and then I started thinking logically, and so I tried to find them in the book of geography because the child is saying that he knows about the geography is the study of places. So he started looking in the book of geography, trying to locate hell and heaven. And when he couldn't find hell and heaven in the book of geography. So he logically come to this conclusion that these places do not exist. So was that the day when he developed a logical, rational thinking power? He has stopped accepting the things at their face value. He came out of that make believe world. Was it the day he ceased to be a child and stepped into the next phase of life? That is stage of one. So, in this, we read that poet is in a dilemma. He's confused. When did he lose his childhood? Was it when he turned 12 years of age and stopped being 11? Or when he developed a rational, logical thinking power, because he was able to conclude by looking at the book of geography that these places, heaven and hell, do not exist anywhere in this world. So, was that the day when he stopped being a child? So, theme of the poem is we are bringing the difference, the outlines, the difference between childhood and adulthood. Childhood, innocence, and adulthood, hypocrisy, manipulative. Childhood comes after infancy, and adulthood is a stage that follows childhood. With this, the first stanza is complete. Thank you and have a nice day.